Hello everybody, this is Mutt, and today we're going to go over how to set up from scratch a tamer and his macros. I'm going to be using from session 1 our tamer template, or our template that we used. I'll be restoring the defaults for Mutt from there. As you can see, I've deleted all of his macros. I did save a backup to my desktop just in case this goes awry. So let's get started. First, we're going to exit. And as I do this, I'm going to blank out the screen so you don't see my account information. And then we're going to go into Windows File Explorer and restore our template. Here you can see the Windows File Explorer. We're going to click on EA Games, Ultimate Line Stitching Abyss. I'm going to use, for this example, user data MECM. I'm going to click on the account name I want to use. Made one up called Mutt. Click on the shard we want. You'll see here that I have Mutt and I have my macro template. We're going to delete the Mutt template and then right click to rename as Mutt. Make sure you have all the characters correct. And that's it. Now I'm going to do the same thing on my real account. I'm going to blank out the screen real quick. And sorry I had to do that, but I didn't want you guys to see my account names. Turning the screen back on, you can see that I've selected Mutt. Double click to go back in. And you can see that our template has taken effect. Just a little bit of screen rearrangement and we are good to go. I'm going to have to change some of the hotkey defaults that we set up down here. But this will do good for what we have. One of the first concerns that we have in playing a tamer, I'm going to go first from just playing the tamer and then we'll talk about taming macros for actually taming animals, is healing. So we have to dismount, and we'll be making a remount and dismount macro here in a bit. Now I use the first aid belt. Hopefully you've had access to one. And I'm going to show you two different ways to set this up. First, from the bar itself, or from the backpack itself, if you have your bandages in the backpack, you're going to create a macro. Again, there's so many ways to do this that it's difficult to capture them all. I'm going to probably do a second video where I just show how to set up different healing macro and targeting options. For this one, I'm just going to use what I use in game because I found it very effective and very easy to keep all my pets separate and healed without having to switch targets. So first, we're going to drag over our bandages from the pack to the macro. That's simple. When it's going to use it as a use, so we're going to go to cursor targeting, and wait for a target. And we're going to right click over one and go to target nearest follower. And I'd like to put that first, that way it targets the follower, uses the bandages, waits for the target. Then we go back over to cursor targeting and select cursor target current. And that's it. This will work for any pet that you have. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as it's within 2 tile range, it's going to apply a bandage. We're going to title it healing. And we're going to apply an icon. And there's an icon for this. Target. This is target closest or most wounded follower. Click OK. This is a lot more adaptable than nearest follower or most wounded follower in that I don't have to worry about its state. I can just select it. Nearest follower or nearest wounded follower also works, especially if you have multiple pets. And I'll show you how to set that up in a later video. And we take that, we grab that, we're going to put that in one slot. I use my F keys for me, the second and third rows for the pets. Now I want to create a greater heal macro. And first I'm going to create one just for me. I'm going to show you an easy way to do this that you'll find useful for many different macros. Take greater heal, grab it to your F1 slot or whatever key you use. Right click, select target, select self. Done. Now I want to hit F1. There we go. That'll heal me every time. For the pet, we're going to create a macro. We're going to heal pet. Select an icon. If you've watched my macro looping video, you'll see why I insist that I always name it and always give it an icon. It makes it easier to find in the text file. Again, we drag over the icon, wait for target, cursor target current, arrow over, target nearest follower, and put that first. And there we go. That's our greater heal macro. We're going to grab that and put that in 2. Create another one. This one's going to be Arch Cure. Select an icon. Name it. Pull it down. And just to keep things easy, I just pull whatever I need from whatever action I'm in. That way I don't have to go back and forth, back and forth. Hopefully it doesn't confuse anybody. Target nearest follower, put that first. Arrow over the left one. Wait for target. Cursor target current. OK. Put that in 3. I want to cure myself. Arch cure. Right click, target, self. I really like that option of being able to assign a target to a simple action right there. One thing I use this for is an escape recall room. If I'm in deep or if I'm getting in trouble and fell, I want to be able to just one button push and escape. If I take recall and put it to F3, and I select target stored, I can store my home run right there. And when I hit F3, it takes me right to home without having to hover my cursor around. And this is my Tremble shop. And I use the house teleporter to get them past the vendors. So, another way to do our bandage macro is if we have the first aid belt. If we have the first aid belt, we're going to drag the bandages from the first aid belt to the hotbar. Now it's going to count everything in the container. You'll notice before, let me do that again. It'll show 730 right now, but if I close this out, it's not going to find it. So your first aid belt has to be open in order for the macro to find it in your backpack. So one thing we can do to help with that is pull our first aid belt over. Now it'll open up whenever we press the equal sign. We won't have to do that an awful lot, usually when we log in, but it makes sure that if we die and it's closed, we can open it up and get it to give us a count of everything that's present. There you go. And I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm going to keep these small because my connection is poor. I'll upload this and I'll do a part 2. Thank you very much for traveling along with me on this journey, and I will be seeing you soon.